bridge, we're going to go under, is known as Old Mill Crossing. In the early 1800s, if you needed your grain ground into flour, this was the place to be. It was also a very popular wagon crossing. It was so shallow, flat, and hard-packed when they drove the wagon to unload and reload them, which was a pretty big deal back then. Now start looking straight ahead. Beautiful red building with a green rooftop. In front of us is the Bexar County Courthouse. Opened up 1896. It is the largest, oldest continuous operating courthouse in the state of Texas. And I promise you, I've only been there one time. Just one. For jury duty, so don't worry. Now look over here on the left-hand side. This is the Tower Life Building. Opened up June 1st, 1929 as the Smith Young Tower. If you look way up high, you'll see some gargoyles. And these grotesques, which are the ugly faces on the sides, they're in the neo-Gothic architecture, and they're known to ward off evil spirits from the building. It also gives a good luck. This is the only octagon high-rise in the United States, standing about 404 feet tall. Those gargoyles, they're water spouts, so when it rains, the water will come out of their mouths. The building is currently empty. It used to be office space. I believe pretty soon they want to turn it into a park. Now once we pass the bridge, look back behind me in this direction. From the angle we're going to be at, the Tower Life Building is going to look like the front of a ship. So they'll start looking down right about now. It'll look like the front of a ship.
Oh, that one. Oh, that's cool.
And Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the building.
That one.
Now we're going to exit out of floodgate number 4. This floodgate will come up like a drawbridge. See the scrapings on the sides. There's a green light above us that lets us know that it is safe to pass over. Now if you look down there to my left, it's going to look like the river disappears back there. It really doesn't. There's about a 15-foot drop. That is floodgate number 5. The river continues 138 miles southeast into the Guadalupe, then another 10 into the Gulf of Mexico. The river starts about 4 miles north of here at the University of Incarnate Word, at a spring which is the Edwards Aquifer. It's also where we get our drinking water from. This bridge right here in front of us, this is our Love Lock Bridge. The couples, they come up here, they get their locks, they write whatever they want on the lock, lock it, kiss the key, and throw it in the river. And it represents eternal love. But there's a lot of combination locks up there. Just in case. Now here is the deepest part of the river, about 15 feet right here. This is the flood bypass channel. Put here to straighten out the riverbed area where we just came out of it. Reason being, September 9th, 1921, San Antonio experienced the worst flood ever. Water levels reaching 9 feet above street level. That year, 50 people died. 2/3 of the city was underwater, causing millions of dollars in property damage. After the flood, the city, they wanted to do away with the whole entire river, cover it up with dirt, and turn it into a sewer culvert. Imagine that. Fortunately, the city's plans fell through, saving the river, and my job in the process. Over here on the left-hand side is Main Plaza. Up in Main Plaza is the San Fernando Cathedral. The cathedral's tough to see, but if you follow the staircase up to the top, you might see it. The San Fernando Cathedral is the second oldest in the nation, built by Spanish missionaries in the early 1700s. Inside the cathedral are the ashes of the men who fought in the Battle of the Alamo. It is open to the public, so during the day you can go inside and visit. So in 1929, Robert Husband, he came up with the idea of the Riverwalk. It was approved by the city, but the year of 1929, the stock market crashed, putting his plans on hold for nearly a decade. This Riverwalk was finally finished in March of 1941 at a cost of $430,000. You can barely put up a bridge with that kind of money now, or even a house. This cypress tree right here in front of us, it is the oldest tree on the river. Over 350 years old. Texas legend says Santa Anna's troops would go up into this tree, shoot down Texans during the Battle of the Alamo. Now we're going to come into floodgate number 3. This floodgate will come straight down like a garage door. It weighs 3 tons. It takes 15 minutes to open or close. Works of floodgate 4 is to lock this area right here, which is a river bend, so when we have heavy rains, the gates will close, the water level in here will drop dramatically, and this area won't flood out. On the right, they just built these apartments. They are now leasing. If you want to move in, a 1-bedroom is starting at $3,300. Next to the apartments on the right is the Esquire Tavern. The Esquire is the oldest bar on the river. They have one of the longest wood-top bars, over 100 feet long. The Esquire opened up one day after the Prohibition ended with a fully stocked bar. They say before that it was a barber shop, and people could go in there and ask for a special kind of buzz. Now look over here on my left-hand side if you want a better visual of how high the water's got. 1921. See the chandeliers inside this building on my left? They would have been covered in water. This building opened up 3 months before the flood as a city public service building. After the bridge to the right, we're going to see the Aztec Theater. The Aztec opened up in 1926 as a silent movie theater. It is the last Mayan-themed theater left in Texas. They have concerts and live shows now. If you look up to the top, you'll see an Aztec head. Now if you continue looking up to the right up on the street level, that beige building up there is the Mocara Hotel in the spot. That was the site for the L. Frank Saddle Company in 1901. L. Frank, he outfitted Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders. He also outfitted Pancho Villa. And this was the largest saddle range back in the early 1900s, right up here on the right. If you've seen the movie Selena, do you remember this bridge right here in front of us? This is the Selena Bridge, also known as the very famous Kissing Bridge. This is where Jennifer Lopez shot her very famous kissing scene during the movie. If you don't know who Selena was, she was a very famous Tejano singer from Corpus Christi, Texas. The hotel over here on my left-hand side opened up 1853 as St. Mary's School for Boys. It later became St. Mary's Law School, outgrew itself, and moved to the west side of San Antonio. In 1968, it opened up as the Omni La Mansión. Now if you want to get those cameras ready, have them out. Right after this bridge, we're going to see an optical illusion of a freestanding wall. It even looks like it's going to fall on top of us. I'll slow down just for y'all. Up front, you're going to see it first. All you'll have to do is put your head back like this and look up to the very top of the building on my left-hand side. Alright, up front, you're going to see it first. So I'm going to start looking up right about now, all the way up to the top.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool, right?
So good.
Kind of just looks like a wall scanning
It's like
there.
That's crazy.
You start looking at the former Nix Hospital. Opened up 1930 as San Antonio's first full-service hospital, and the nation's first fully air-conditioned hospital. At the time of opening, was offering from a Band-Aid to major surgery. If you know who Carol Burnett is, that's where she was born. The Nix Hospital is still currently empty. Their hopes are to turn it into a hotel soon. Now to look straight ahead up this hotel right here in front of us is the Hyatt Regency. Opened up in 1981. The floor was built. Shadow testing was conducted to ensure At sunset, a shadow would not cast over our war memorial, which is the Alamo. Testing proved 16 stories was as high as the building itself. Below the hotel, there are 2 double doors there that'll say the Shops of Paseo de Alamo. Walk through the beautiful atrium. You'll be about a block away from the Alamo. Now, if you look up to the right, there's a Texas flag up there. I'm going to ask you all a question about the Texas flag. Do you all know why the Texas flag is staffed at the same height as the American flag? It's because Texas used to be its own country until the Union joined us in 1845. Just a little Texas history for y'all right there. Now coming up on the right hand side is the Casino Club building. Opened up 1927 as a private German businessman's club. Today it offers commercial business on the first 2 floors. Top 4 floors are apartments. And the Casino Club building, it was never a casino. This area that we're in is called River Square. Renovated 1972, has a variety of restaurants. Each restaurant has a menu right outside its door. Not too sure what you're looking for, come down here, take a browse around. If you're going to be here this weekend on Saturday, they are going to have a St. Patrick's Day parade. It is free to the public. Also Saturday and Sunday, they are going to be dyeing the river like a bright green color for St. Patrick's Day. Now coming up on the right hand side, the circle of building we're going to see is the Clifford building. On the balcony, you'll see Robert Hugman's name. Again, he was the architect of the Riverwalk. This is where he opened up the first office in 1941 to prove his point. If you had business here, it would not flood out. Of course, he was totally correct. And his office was just right at the entrance of this restaurant. And we'll see Robert Hugman right over there on the right, by the staircase. Now, right next to it on the right is the oldest Mexican restaurant on the river, Casa Rio. Opened up 1946, owned by a German family for about 5 generations. They pioneered all riverside dining and boat activities. I'm going to say how our company got started, it was with them. Instead of their guests just sitting down waiting for a table, they take them on a boat ride. When they would come back from their ride, they were the ready. And that's how it got started. And they used to use gondoliers back there. Now I'm going to give you all a few fun facts about San Antonio. We are the 7th largest city in the U.S., the 2nd largest city in Texas, just right behind Houston. Our population is about 1.5 million people. We are the most visited city in Texas. The word Tex-Mex was originated right here in San Antonio. And the singer Phil Collins, he had a multi-million-dollar collection of Alamo artifacts. Those artifacts are now displayed at the Alamo. Now we're going to stop right here because we have to wait for boats to come in and out of this part of the river. Now, the second most asked question around here is this river natural or man-made? Right, it's both. We're the natural part right here. The San Antonio River has been here over 300 years. This man-made portion we just came back into was made in the mid-1960s for the 1968 Hemisphere World's Fair. It provided transportation from the fairgrounds to the Riverwalk on taxi boats. This fair was about 6 months long from April 6th to 6th. About 7 people attended, mainly from the Americas. It put San Antonio on the map, and also put the Riverwalk on the map. And we have great things to get to that. Now coming up over here on my left-hand side, we're going to going to see some artwork, those butterfly wings you can take pictures with. Over the past few years, a lot of art has been donated to the city and to the Riverwalk, and they try and display it as much as they can.
Butterfly wings.
Another art installation we're going to see is coming up in front of us. Up to the right, there's two flowers up there. It's called Bloom. There are about 16 more of these flowers planted along our river.
Butterfly wings. Hindi mahanap yung butterfly wings.
Now if you continue looking up to the right, there's going to be a clearing in the trees. In the sky, you will see the Tower of the Americas. Centerpiece for the 1968 Hemisphere World's Fair. Second freestanding tower in America, stands about 750 feet tall. There it is, up on the right. There's an observation deck up there. Cost for that's about $15 to $20. There's a restaurant up there as well. Makes one complete turn every hour, which is a great view of the city. I hear if you stay at the bar long enough, the restaurant spins faster. And there are stairs that go all the way up to the top of the tower. 954 to be exact. Every year on September 11th, our firefighters dress up in their full gear, run up and down the steps as many times as they can to commemorate what happened on 9/11. But they actually used to have marathons for people who would want to know how long they could last running or walking up these steps. 5 minutes is the fastest record. And I'll never do that again. And you'll see the Tower of the Americas one more time, up in the sky, on my right. Straight in front of us, that is a Stargazer. She's been there since 2022. She's made out of Mexican volcanic stone. The artist says it's up to your interpretation on what she's looking at through her marble star. Maybe a future Super Bowl win for the Dallas Cowboys. But the artist also says she represents the indigenous people that used to live on the river thousands of years ago. So the name of this river is the San Antonio River. But before anyone was here, any Spanish missionaries, Germans, other Europeans, this river was named Yanaguana, which means place of peaceful waters in the Native American dialect of the Paiai Indians. And they were the largest tribe in this area. Historians believe those Native Americans lived off the river for thousands of years before anybody got here. Now we're coming into the most dangerous part of the river.
Dangerous.
The mall. The Shops at River Center opened up in 1988, one of the largest malls in San Antonio.
I think we're just gonna equal
1 million square feet of shopping. There are two theaters inside this mall, an AMC and an IMAX. The IMAX offers daily viewings of the Alamo Price of Freedom, which is a historically correct depiction of the Battle of the Alamo. Inside the mall, you'll also find a Dave Buster's, a Legoland, and a Sea Life aquarium.
Oh, the sea life is there. Oh my god, why would they go?
Now, if you didn't know, the mall and the Alamo, they're pretty much right next to each other. But in between the mall and the Alamo, there's a hotel. It's called the Minger Hotel. It's one of the most haunted hotels on this side of the Mississippi. At the Minger Bar is where Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders would hang out. Some people say they still see Teddy Roosevelt at the bar. But that's probably after a few drinks. But the Minger Hotel's been open for 165 years. There's a lot of history there. If you ever get the chance, check it out. So these boats that we're on, we've had them since 2017. They're fully electric boats. They're better for our river and the environment. These are also pretty cool because each boat has a different design. The one that we're on is the sun theme boat. You see a whole bunch of suns all over it. We have some with doves, flowers, the missions. One that says San Antonio 300. In 2018, we celebrated our tricentennial, so we're over 300 years old. And then our last boat design is our military theme boat. Here in San Antonio, we are a military city, and we love our military. I want to give a big round of applause to the airmen on board. She just graduated. Congratulations again.
Congratulations.
If you have any other active duty or retired on board, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate it. Alright friends, we're coming to the end of our tour. I hope you found your time with me a little informative and enjoying. I did enjoy my time with y'all as well. It's a beautiful day to be out on the river. We appreciate the time you take coming down here and on the Riverwalk. If you did enjoy your time with me, tipping your driver is allowed, accepted, and very much appreciated. I also accept Cash App and Venmo. If you forget any of your belongings on my boat, don't worry, we have a wonderful lost and found website. It is www.ebay.com.
I know them one.
I'm just joking. We use Facebook Marketplace. We'll have your things there at a very fair price. Stay seated until I have the boat safely secured, then I'll let you know when it is safe to exit. Enjoy the rest of your time here in San Antonio. Have a great day. Thank you all so much. God bless and stay safe out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.